Hi, good morning, Mr. and Ms. Smith. My name is Andy Farrell. I am the Director of Advocacy for Parents at Alpha, and I do recognize that your time is valuable, so I will try to take no more than about 5 or 10 minutes of your time, though of course I'm happy to address any concerns you have beyond that. Um, so to introduce you, what is the heart of our mission here, we set out to strive for three main things. We want our students to absolutely love the idea of going to school, becoming students. We set out to ensure that our students are able to learn twice as much in only 2 hours, and we also emphasize how these life skills will complement their academic achievements. In many ways, we know that this is a big change compared to the conventional approach of education, one which has been very valuable. I myself am a product, as I imagine many of you are as well, of products of that traditional educational system. Um, but that's also part of the problem. Education hasn't really been adapting. And we think it's time for a significant redesign of that model. You know, classroom 100 years ago was teacher, textbooks, and students sitting in rows. Not a lot has changed from the day today. So our aim is to change that model to fit the present day and accelerate that learning into the future. We do that by fostering a growth mindset, instilling belief that each student's learning potential is limitless, and providing the structure to experience, not just talk about, but experience the actual life skills that develop them as a whole person. Um, we help them identify their motivation to gain an interest in learning, which helps them become invested in their education. And that investment propels them down the road to become self-driven students with a curiosity and a strong desire to learn. Uh, Now, in order to achieve that proficiency in only 2 hours, it does seem unlikely, but only when compared to the conventional view of education. We are able to utilize AI-driven app to individually present level appropriate instruction to each one of the children. And as they adapt, we're able to accomplish more in that 2 hours. But the quality, the accuracy, and the retention of information learned is actually proven to be XYZ% better compared to students who attain instruction through just the traditional methods alone. Now, with that approach, we're able to achieve mastery of each subject. So as one student achieves mastery and is ready to move on and be challenged on the next level of that, they're able to do so without kind of waiting for the entire classroom. Um, and likewise, if one student maybe is struggling with a given topic, the AI and the adaptive models of that are able to recognize that and provide additional feedback or an alternative instruction to allow that student to achieve mastery before they move on. So they're able to move forward at a limitless pace as they are able, and they will not move forward until they've achieved that mastery because there's no point in moving forward like it oftentimes happens in traditional classrooms with students who do not have that foundational knowledge before moving on to the next step. Um, Now, our students are regularly achieving outstanding scores and place in the XYZ percentile nationwide. And these scores alone are enough to instill confidence and gain the attention of most of the elite high school admissions. But what we believe truly sets us apart is our ability to develop young learners loaded with the skills necessary to accelerate into 21st century jobs. Outside of our 2 hour learning blocks, our workshops prepare our students not just to check different types of boxes for academic success, but to actually experience what it's like to overcome challenges and collaborate with their peers on complex problems. They learn how to understand financial literacy through entrepreneurial exercises as opposed to just doing repetitive math problems, which only mirror some of those similar concepts. They gain confidence in their ability to speak publicly and even explore altruistic impact of their choices by researching and donating funds earned from workshops to causes of their choosing. So by the time our learners are ready for high school admissions, not only do they exceed the academic requirements, but they are truly remarkable young people. Um, Feedback from our connections with many of the admission counselors that we talk to report XXX satisfaction with our students at the time of enrollment. And follow-up data has actually shown 1 and 3 years worth of retention and longevity of their success into those programs, which is something that we're very proud of. Now, it's also very, very common to understand how in this style of education, when it varies so much from what we are used to, on how it can be an effective model. Um, I do not disregard that concern. Our results, however, are also something that I would encourage you not to disregard. We aim to build innovative leaders, not merely students who can memorize information. On average, our students are able to grow 2.6 times faster than peers on nationally normed math tests, and some of our top performing students actually grow 6.5 times more. Um, Amongst the 99th percentile, and they're consistently outperforming the national averages of academic achievement. We are able to do this not by ignoring the value and the importance of teachers, um, but by redefining what a teacher's role is in this type of modern educational system. We do this primarily through the use of our guides. We focus on developing quality relationships with the students to develop strong motivations for learning. Um, Now we know that the traditional teachers and the traditional role of an educator requires that connection, and each student requires that individualized approach in order to maximize their potential efficiently. I do believe that most teachers, ones that I know that are working with my son and daughter right now, strive to achieve that. But the reality is the availability of resources right now in most districts prevent them from being able to connect with each child in that way to be able to do that. The adaptive AI Common Core programs that we utilize maximize that ability to learn independently, achieve that proficiency as a result, and allow the guides to develop the relationships and build upon the life skills outside of that. So outside of our proven academic success, we are very passionate about developing that whole person. We instill confidence in our learners to be aware of the choices that they're making and the impact that has on their ability to learn, adapt, and contribute to the world as a very valuable tool. Not just as they learn in their workshops while developing social and physical and fiscal responsibility, each of those steps are taken incrementally. Um, we know that those incremental steps lead to exponential growth, and we are very excited to be able to show you exactly how many different possible tasks our learners are able to tackle. So thank you for your time. And obviously, any questions you have, I'd be happy to address them.